Hello everyone and welcome back to the Football Insider Gaming channel. I am Connor Bromley and today I am returning Martin O'Neill back to Celtic after Wilfried Nancy's disastrous run in charge of the club. We are going to simulate through 3 seasons of Martin O'Neill at the club, see if he lasts it, see whether or not he retires early, see who replaces him, and see whether or not Celtic can continue their domination of Scottish football. If you enjoy the video, please leave a like and please also subscribe to the channel. That really helps. Let's head to Parkhead and see what happens. So how did Celtic get on under Martin O'Neill? Well, in season 1, it is the league title, 74 points. Not a high total to win the league. Rangers finishing with 66, but a comfortable win, 8 points clear. Season 2, Celtic finished with 93 points, 15 ahead of Rangers, so it's business as usual, no doubt, for the Celtic team, certainly from their perspective anyways. And in the final campaign, Celtic win the title again, 12 clear of Rangers. Let's have a look, though, to see if Martin O'Neill is currently the manager 3 seasons down the line. It is Sean Maloney who is in charge right now. And Martin O'Neill, it looks like he lasted a season, and then Sean Maloney's come in since then and has done 2 campaigns. Let's check out the results though and see how the Celtic team got on overall. So if we look at season 1, this is Martin O'Neill's full and final campaign, and they're out of the Premier Sports Cup very early on. It says they're through the Champions League here, but it says they're then in the Europa League, so I don't know how that works. I don't know if that's a glitch on the game, but yeah, Celtic through the Champions League, 2-1 on penalties. Oh no, they're not. Oh, I see how it is. So it gives them the green, but they actually lost the penalty shootout. So it just is silly. So that's how they end up in the Europa League. Rangers, though, a win in the first Old Firm game, which is obviously very nice. And it looks like they're going pretty well in the Europa League as well. Results largely positive. A draw here against Rangers. I'm going to guess through the Europa League. Through the Scottish Cup against Airdrie, which is nice. Through against Sturm Graz in the Europa League knockout places. Defeat against Rangers here. That's the first one we've had in the Old Firm. Through the Scottish Cup though, and out in the Europa League against Aston Villa. Pretty embarrassingly, a really bad period here in March. And yeah, the overall results towards the end of the season, not great really, but a win in the Scottish Cup final. This would be Martin O'Neill's final game. A win on penalties. So that's pretty good. Let's have a look at the following campaigns. So this would be Sean Maloney in charge. I think it was tipped to potentially get the job. So a win against Ayr. Also through into the Champions League next rounds. I'm playing Nice here. PSV a draw. Lost the first Old Firm game of the season. Chimetti scoring twice. A good little run though in the league, though. Defeat against Liverpool. The Champions League campaign not going so well. Through the Premier Sports Cup final. And a win in the Premier Sports Cup, 3-0. And a 5-1 win against Rangers, which is nice to see from a Celtic perspective. I'm going to guess though out of the Champions League, because the results haven't been great. Out of the Scottish Cup as well against St Mirren. 2-1 defeat here against Rangers. So Rangers getting a bit of revenge. And yeah, pretty poor end to the season as well. But overall, another league title. So Sean Maloney's side can't complain too much. We'll go to the latest campaign. And a really solid start of the season. Lots of greens to start through into the Champions League as well, which is nice. And 4 points from the first 2 Champions League games, though. Defeat here against Rangers. Defeat against Bruges, disappointing. But through against Rangers in the Premier Sports Cup. Into the final act competition. Yeah, Champions League form definitely fallen off a little bit. It'd be difficult to qualify through, but a win in the Premier Sports Cup, which is nice. A win here away at Ibrox, even though down to 10 men from the second minute. And we could potentially be heading through a 3-0 away win against Barcelona in the Champions League. Pretty crazy. Scottish Cup 5th round through against Livingston, out against Roma, 7-0 though on aggregate, which is pretty disappointing. A 1-0 win against Rangers, though, probably makes up for that a little bit. Through the Scottish Cup against Greenock Morton, but out in the semi-finals against Kilmarnock after extra time, winning the final Old Firm game of the season and winning the title. So, pretty good really from Celtic. Won every competition domestically. 3 straight league titles. You can't grumble at that. Let's have a look at the transfer history. See if any big players have arrived. Moussa Diakite and Rodrigo Lopez in season 1. Johnny Kenny leaves. Nothing major though in terms of the outgoings. Twanzebe comes in from Burnley. It's a pretty good signing. Etienne Green, believes a goalkeeper, comes in. Kike Borgia comes in. Lots of free transfers here, but Igor comes in from Brighton. I think he's a centre half. 10.75 million. That's the big one. Wilson Odeberg also comes in from Spurs on loan. And Madsbach Sorensen comes in from FC Midtjylland for 6.5 million. In terms of outgoings, Sebastian Tinniket goes to New England. Liam Scales leaves to go to Hearts. Anthony Ralston leaves to go to Aberdeen. And a few players leave out on loan. Well, actually, I say a lot of players leave out on loan. This past season, let's have a look. And Mahmoud Ndiaye comes in for 6.75 million. Andre Gomez from Benfica. Brendan Aronson comes in on loan. It's an interesting transfer. Louis Richards from Chelsea. And in terms of outgoings, Mr. Silla, Luke Chambers, Stephen Bender, Johnny Kenny, Dane Murray. Yeah, a lot of fringe players leave. Rio Hitate goes on loan. But yeah, other than that, nothing major. Let's have a look at the Celtic team though and see who've been the star players of this save. So in terms of value, the most valuable player is the goalkeeper Ndiaye, who they brought in this past season. So he came in for 6.75 million, I believe, in January. 6 clean sheets in 12 games. Can't grumble too much at that. And he is going to be a big player for the Celtic team. Arnie Engels, also down as being one of the most valuable players. Still just 24 years old. And has been a big part. 15 and 14 assists the last 2 seasons. Very, very impressive. Is this the main striker at Celtic? Brought in from Real Sociedad. 20 goals and 15 goals for Jean Carricabaru. So he's had a pretty good run here in this Celtic team. Dyson Maeda, big player of course for Celtic in real life. In the last 3 seasons, yeah, pretty consistent, getting over double figures in the last 3 seasons, as you would expect for a player of his quality. Jota, also still here, brought in. And he is done okay so far. 5 goals in his the first season of the save. He got 10 and 8 assists, and then 9 and 11 assists the following season. Still just 29 years of age. So that pretty much ticks off all the major players in this team. Let's say just this past season, how everyone got on and who was the top scorer. So Kabaru scores 24, Benjamin Nygren scores 17, Dyson Maeda scores 12, and in terms of the assists, Arnie Engels with 19. Callum McGregor still knocking about as well. I mean, he must be some age. 34 years old. What a career he's had, by the way. Incredible, but yeah, big part of this Celtic team. So there we go. That is the Celtic save. They've had a pretty successful 3 years. Sean Maloney at the helm after the first season of Martin O'Neill. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more simulations like this, please also subscribe to the channel.